Hello and good evening, everyone. How have you day so far? Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Say hello on the chat. If you can hear me clearly, say hello on the chat. Hi, Damilola. How are you? Hi, Glory. Hi, Tony. All right, so let's get started for today. Um, Yesterday we saw various data uh, typing principle, processes. For example, you saw how to combine data, you know, that has the same characteristics. For example, data that has the same column names, right? You saw how to combine it together with a PD dot concat. And then yesterday we saw various joining methods such as the left join, the inner join, the right join, and the outer join, which we call a full join. I hope you all got it and you have also practiced it in your own leisure time. So today we will continue from where we stopped, and today we'll be looking at data visualization. Data visualization. Um, Let me see if I have. Let me see. Let me see something. Coming, please. Let me see. Okay, I'm coming, please. I want to make life easier for us so that I can understand today's class very well. Okay, I think everything is fine. So I'm coming, please. I'll share my screen very soon. All right. Okay, please let me know if you can see my screen. Please, can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, say hello on the chat. All right. Now, I think you can see my screen. So today we'll be looking at data visualization. I know that everybody likes to visualize their data, and of course, it makes your work so beautiful. You can easily share insight from the analysis with data visualization. So let me put it in full screen so that you can just go with that. I will not dwell much on the how will I call it, on the presentation part. Rather, I will dwell much on the practical part. But it's also good for us to understand the theory of data visualization. And in fact, I remember when I was in which country, sir? Italy, where they taught us about data visualization theory. I never knew that we also have theory in data visualization. Okay, so now what is data visualization? Data visualization is the graphical representation of your data, okay, by visual elements. And the element could be a chart, it could be infographic, it could even be a map, you know. And the main thing is just for you to understand your data. People always say that a picture talks more than 10,000 words. If I just draw something, just like when Jesus Christ, a man, a woman who was like who they caught from adultery. The Bible made us understand that Jesus Christ just bent down and wrote something on the ground. That if anyone has not seen among you, let him be the first person to throw stone on this woman. I can you see now? So what Jesus Christ put on the ground may just be a visualization of something. You are a sinner, you are a sinner, and they all saw their picture on that ground. That was why they could not stone that woman into death. So the same thing can also be taken from the visualization. It makes the story behind every data, and it brings the story back to life. Sometimes when you just draw a table, nobody will get the idea. But when you visualize it, they'll be able to see the kind of problem that maybe the company is into, and with you being an analyst, you can just help them because they have seen the story and the picture clearly. So the visualization, enable the decision makers, the stakeholders, or even the readers to understand the data analysis presented visually, so that they can understand, the difficult concept, and by that you'll be able to help them identify a pattern from their data. And I've already spoken about this. So, why are we visualizing data? You know, we are visualizing data because it's a powerful way to explore data with presentable results, and it's also display the summary of our data at a glance. And charts and graphs make it easier to identify patterns and trends. For example, if if they create a table, if they construct a table now, right, about Christians that are being killed in Nigeria compared to Muslim, when they draw when they just put number there, right, it's not be meaningful. But when you see a bar chart, that just went up straight compared to the Muslim people that are being killed, you will see that it is good that they look for solution about this kind of problem, right? So visualization helps us to identify area that need attention, or improvement. Okay, so that is the main reason why we need to understand, data visualization, and understand the tools that will help us to visualize our data clearly. Now, before you visualize your data, right, we know that visualization is not just about you using any chart, right? We are trying to answer, question from the data. And before you even visualize that data, the first question you must ask yourself is, what relationship am I trying to understand between my data sets? Do I want to understand the distribution of data or look for an outlier? Remember, we said that a particular data may follow normal distribution, and other may follow, other distributions such as beta distribution, or gamma distribution, and all of that. Immediately you plot the data, you plot the chart, by that, even without you using any statistical text, you can guess the kind of distribution that the data actually follows. Another question you may ask yourself before you even select your data is, are you looking to compare multiple values or looking to analyze a single value over time? As you can see, when you are visualizing a single value over time, what you're trying to do is trend analysis. For example, we want to plot the COVID-19 data to see how people are being affected by COVID-19, maybe from January to December. You can see how the trend will look like. The another question you may even ask yourself before you just start, plotting the data is, are you interested in analyzing trend? I've already said this, analyzing trend, okay? Another thing is that it's visualization an important part of my overarching data story. When you are writing a story and you bring visualization into it, everything will look so beautiful. It's just unfortunate that I cannot share the project we just finished with the government now about poverty analysis. You will see the story that we actually put together to write our reports. Now, in visualizations, we have several techniques to plot your data, right? And the kind of chart you will use depends on the how will I call it, the um the kind of category of your data. Yeah, that is the English. The category of your data. If it is categorical variable, I'm saying it right away now. it, it, I'm saying it right now, rather. If the categorical variable, right, what chart you will use is bar chart. Remember, bar chart is suitable for categorical data. When you look at the visual dimension, you will see that in bar chart, you have the following as the visual dimensions. Number one, the length or count, which is always which is what will be on the y-axis. Remember, this is y-axis, and here is the x-axis. Okay, and in the x-axis, you will have the category. You can see here. Yesterday we look at penguins data, and here is the species. You can see the Adele, the gentle, and tristram. And it's always very good to understand the common data in data science. If I'm doing interview with you now, I'll just ask you, can you give me three common data in data science? If you cannot mention three, I don't know if I can hire you. Even if you are brilliant, I want you to I want to know whether you are even exposed to the world of data science. If they ask me, I will tell them penguins, I will tell them iris, I will tell them empty car, I will tell them Titanic data, and many more like that. Okay, so please master all these things. And then we have color. This is the color that separates those species. You can see for Adele, we have this guy. For the gentle, we have this guy, and for the chin strap, we have this guy. And this is just about the visual dimension for a bar chart. Another chart that we'll look at is the histogram. And yesterday, remember, I said that histogram is suitable when the data is continuous. Somebody may ask me, what is the meaning of continuous data? This is the data that has infinite values. For example, your height, for example, your height, your weight, they have continuous value. When I start asking everybody their weight now, you know, if I start, if I cannot create a frequency table for that, because everybody will have several before we can see equal weight. It will go far, right? So that is continuous because it is infinite in value. Okay, you can see. Look at the length now. You can see. So it is continuous. That is, it is infinite. It is not discrete. It is because we have two type of data. We have qualitative data and the quantitative data. Qualitative data are data that is in form of text, right? And they don't have, you cannot quantify them in number with number. For example, gender, okay? Gender, what do you call it? State of origin, religion, Christian, Muslim, traditional religion, and all of that, okay? Your eye color and all of that. So those are the kind of qualitative data. When we have quantitative data is always represented in number, and there are also of two types. We have continuous data, and we also have discrete data. Discrete data, that one, the values there, you can easily count it. For example, the discrete is which one again? Discrete is coming on. Discrete is, for example, number of children. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2 to 10, and all of that. You can see that the values are not that many. But if I start saying height, you will see height in 16.7 meter, 16.7 meter, 18.9 meter, and inches, all of that. So those are the continuous data. So when you have continuous data, then the best chart for that is histogram. But when you have discrete data, you can actually visualize that one by using a bar chart. You can use a pie chart, and you can use a donut chart. Okay. Now, when you have when you want to visualize the relationship between two variables, okay, in that case, you use what is called a scatter diagram. In scatter diagram, we have the following as its visual dimensions. Number one, we have the x-axis, we have the y-axis, okay. We may also have shape, we have color, and we have size. I will explain what of course, you know what, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. The color is the color that you use to represent each point. For example, now the shape here is blue, okay. When we have color, okay, that is color. The shape, so you may choose to use any shape of your choice. For example, here the shape is in circle. Others may also put their own as triangle or any. There are like different shapes you can use. And we also have size. In case you are creating a multivariate chart, for example, this size can also be whereby, for example, if I want to put gender as well here, okay, so this, if I want to put gender here, right, and want to know the kind of B length and B depth, how it is for each gender, then the size here will be useful for us. And remember that scatter plot is useful when you have two continuous variables, okay, two continuous variable. From there, you can see whether the data is, is positive correlated or negative correlated. Before you even calculate the correlation, your scatter diagram may give you a, how would I call it, a rough estimate of what your correlation will look like. For example, here you can see this one now. This one, you can see that the point is like this. So this is the positive correlation. If it's like this, right, this is negative correlation. And this is alternative to a bar chart. This one is useful for categorical variable. I can see the only dimension that this one has is the color. And this, you can see here, this is called a sector, right? You can see the sector here. This is for Adele, this is for chin strap, and this is for gentle. And another alternative for pie chart is the donut chart. I like donut chart a lot. I don't like pie chart. Is a traditional, chart that you can use to represent a categorical variable. But when you have a donut chart, there's a way it has a taste of beauty. I don't. This one is. If I see this one in your script, I will not like it again. Please use the donut chart. Now we have this one called a box plot, box and whisker plot. When do we use box and whisker plot? We use box and whisker plot whenever we have one continuous variable and one categorical variable. The categorical variable will be your x, it will be your x-axis, and your continuous variable will be in your y-axis. So how do we interpret this? So this one, this one is just showing you the distribution. It could be the median or the mean. Remember here, yesterday or 2 days ago, I told you about 5-number summary. So this is exactly where you can visualize your 5-number summary. The first, this one here is called minimum point. This is the minimum point. This place here is called Q1, the first quartile. This guy here at the middle is the median. I can see median, and this guy here, excuse me, this guy here is the third quartile. This guy here is the maximum. And any point outside the minimum and maximum is called outlier. Okay. So this one here will help us to know whether the mean is actually the same or not the same. You can see here that the mean of carnation, is lower when you compare it with lily, and the mean of rose is also lower. So that means that lily has higher mean than all these species. So, and this time around, because we have three species, okay, you can apply ANOVA there, analysis of variance, to know whether the mean is actually the same across the species. The mean sepal length is the same across the species, or it's not the same across all the species. Okay, and this one here, another dimension that you can also apply to it is the color. You can see that here we have blue, here we have orange, here we have green. You can see. So this one also has the color, to separate the species, for to separate sepal length for each species. Deno, it's not deno, it's do not, or do not, do not chat, do not, do not, do not chat. Okay, then which one again? So let's continue. Now we have what is called a line chart. A line chart, helps us to get the trend over a time. So that means that whenever you see a line chart, it must always come with a time, okay, a time. So therefore, the x-axis will be the time period. It could be a month, it could be in year, it could be in a day, okay, in days. Now we also have y-axis. Okay, this is the y-axis, which gives us the total occurrence, per that time or per that month or period. All right, you can see the line here. Okay, you can see that COVID-19 is just increasing, per period. You can see over a time rather. Okay, we have shape. I've told you what this shape means, how you represent the point. So here now they use L or line for this one here. You can use triangle, you can use a cycle to denote the point. Then the size, so how you want it to be thicker. Okay, so this is size you will use to control this. Okay. um Before we move into the visualization packages for visualization, any question? Remember that I've given you a project, a competition, that if you win, okay, you will bring money home and will give God the glory. So this is where you need to go and practicalize everything Israel and I have been teaching you from the beginning of this training. Please, if you have any question now, you can ask. If I can get 5 no, then I will continue. Any question? Okay. Bajo, are you saying do not chat? What do you want from do not chat? Do you like donuts? Okay. So let's continue. In Python, there are a lot of uh, visualization packages that you can use, but the most common ones are the matplotlib. Okay, so just like we have numpy for numpy array, and we have pandas for data visualization, and I said that pandas was built under numpy. So the same way, so the fato of visualization package in Python is matplotlib. You always use matplotlib. Okay, and you can use it to actually create several charts, such as the histogram, the bar chart, the line chart, and the scatter plot. Another one that is now common is a modern version of matplotlib. Okay, the Seaborn was built under matplotlib, and it's good, to actually visualize a data frame object. Matplotlib here was not built for data frame. You have to start writing several lines of codes to be able to get out information from the data frame. But this Seaborn, as I said, that Python, instead they always copy R programming. They copy how programming syntax. For example, this Seaborn here, they copy ggplot2 in R. Okay, which is a good thing. It's good to copy people that are doing well. If I'm doing well, copy me. If somebody is not doing well, don't copy them. So that's why that every the way the seaborn is exactly the way ggplot2 is exactly how the seaborn looks like. So if you know ggplot2, you don't need anyone to teach you how to use seaborn. You will quickly master it. Okay. Then we also have plotly. So plotly is good for interactive visualization because both matplotlib and seaborn are they give you static charts, while plotly makes everything interactive, so you can play with it. You can be when you are hovering around it, you'll be seeing the values, everything changing, so it's interactive. Okay. And then we also have pandas. So I forgot to show you that you can use pandas, to visualize. But I believe in my script I should have something about panda. But if I don't have pandas, no problem. You know, this pandas is just useful to quickly create it's a quick chart, not a chart that you need to decorate, label so as to be suitable for publication. There, there is a friend of mine in Lithuania. I don't want to mention her name. It's a really good friend of mine. She submitted a paper into a particular Q1 journal, right? And they had to return that paper because the visualization looked uh, horribly, right? So she had to ask me how am I going to do this one. So we work together before the paper will be accepted. So that means that when you are plotting, be mindful of the kind of we are a researcher here, thank God. So be mindful of how you are plotting and ensure that your chart is ready for I mean suitable for publication, not just that you just be using anyhow chart or you will not label your chart clearly. So everything must be beautiful. The way you are so beautiful, the way you are so handsome, the same way your chart must look good. Okay, so in this training for today, we are going to use Seaborn. Oh, great, and Pandas. If I will use Matplotlib, so I will be showing you. Oh, this guy is taken from Matplotlib, so that you'll be mindful of that. Okay, so in summary, the raw data, when you collect the raw data, you try to process it, you clean it, you create explicit data analysis, you show model, you can train model or fit a particular statistical model. From there you communicate the result, and the communication is all about you visualizing the data and bring insight. So this will now give us what is called data product. Data product is a product that stakeholder, that's what they want. That is how their data can give them. Remember I told you about the value that your data can give you. You can actually dominate your where you are, the company, or where the kind of what do you call it now, the space. If you are in the banking sector, you can actually dominate that space because of the data product that you have that others don't have. From there we now get the word of reality. Okay, so now go into my let me go into my script. So today I will be using my VS Code, and we start plotting. Are you ready for me? You are ready for me? Say yes. Is plotly also based on matplotlib? Yes, it's based on matplotlib. At least one or two. They will take one or two functions from matplotlib. Okay. All right. I just drank a cup of water. If you also have a cup of water there or a cup of tea, you can just drink it. Okay. So before I continue, I would like you to just relax your mind. If possible, you can stand up for 2 seconds. Let's stand up, everybody. Let's stand up for 2 seconds. Okay, let's stretch our body. All right, let's relax our mind. All right, and now let's go get back to work. So here we'll be using Pandas 9. Okay, so Pandas 9. I call it Pandas 9 because I want this guy to be serially ordered. Otherwise, it's not Panda 9, it should be data visualization. All right, so here I am importing my packages. All right, now I have my those packages are loaded. So I will be using food Starter tips dataset. So this dataset is from Seaborn, and it has the following characteristics: the total bill, which is the cost of meal in Kenya. Don't mind me, the data was taken from Seaborn, but I tried to localize the data so that it could be useful for those people at that time. All right. So imagine you are from Nigeria. So this data, shows the cost of meal in Nigeria naira. Okay. The tip is gratuity in Nigeria naira. Okay, we have gender, that is the gender of person paying for the meal. Smoker, whether they smoke in the party or not. Day of the week for the party. It could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we have time. The time of the day, whether for lunch or dinner. Is it lunch time or dinner? And the size, that is the size of the party. So who can tell me how many columns do we have in this data? How many columns do we have in this data? Anybody? How many columns do we have in this data? All right, seven. We have 7 columns. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't even need to manually count it. Let's load the data and let's get to work, my brothers and sisters in Christ. All right, so now I save the data as tip data. Remember that your variable name must represent the data. You not just call it unnecessary name, but name that will not show what the data is all about. So at this time now, everybody should know how to name a variable in a way that will represent that. I don't want to see data. I don't want to see df. No, let your variable represent what you are reading. Okay, so now here it is thief data. Okay, now I look at the head. Now I can see the data clearly. Here I have total bill, I have tip, I have gender, I have smoker, I have day, I have time, and I have size. Okay. Now here are the columns. You can see the columns and you can see the dimension of the data. So who can tell me what this guy means? Who can tell me what it means? The 744,7. What does it mean in your local language? Write it down on the chart. Thank you very much. All right, so we have 74 rows and we have 7 columns. So I'm happy everybody is getting this. So now I want to import the wide data profiling so as to get the profiling report of the data. Okay, so I can see it is loading. Now you can see, so the profile reporting is where we need to go now. You can see I just put profile report under this guy, and the guy is doing the clinic analysis of my data to see what and what I can get from it. Now you can see it is loading, loading report, loading report, loading report. It is okay. But Joe, so what I said before was how many for this one here, for this one. Okay, I was asking what is the dimension of the data and what does this guy mean. Okay, that is what I said before. So now I believe you can catch up now. So now our profile report is ready. So remember, the profile report is like you go to a laboratory testing center, to know whether you have, what is it, you want to know your genotype, for example. Okay, so they will collect your blood, they start doing the analysis before they can determine that you are AA. So the same thing is what we did here. So this one will help us to understand what is happening in our data, to understand to explore our data more. Okay, with just one line of code. So now here are the statistical report of the data. You can see we have 7 variables, we have 744 observations. You can see there is no missing data. We only have, you can see we only have one duplicate row. Okay, and then we have 3 numeric variable and 3 categorical variable, and we have boolean. Okay, now here you can see we don't have any missing value. So this one now is just showing the distribution of each variable that we have in the data. Okay, here you can see the total bill, you can see the tip, you can see the gender, you can see that it's always male that always go to party compared to female. Smokers, you see, we have many non-smoker than smokers. Okay, the day of the week, you can see Owambe is always on Sunday. I can see Sunday and Saturday and Sunday is the party time. Can you see? Saturday, nobody ever does party on a Monday. Okay, if our Monday is not there, it's only Tuesday. Maybe this one is naming ceremony. I can see. All right, then the time you can see the party is always at the dinner time. You can see many people go for dinner compared to lunch. And now the size of the party, you can see this is the size one. If you are the only one, you can see 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 and 6 people in the party. Okay, now this is where we are looking at the interaction, that is the correlation. You can see, and here is the correlation heat map, and this is the table that shows our correlation. Can you see? You can see, is there any correlation between those numeric variable? Don't worry about gender. Gender should not be there, but let's see why this guy is adding gender. Why is he adding gender? Gender, where is it? Why is he adding gender? Gender should not be a numeric variable. Okay, here it is male and female. So we don't know why the proper reporting is taking our gender to be continuous variable. Okay, to be continuous variable. So all this one smokers here. So maybe what Pandas is doing is doing something that we have in R. Whenever we have a categorical variable, R, underneath it will represent them as numeric. For example, you can call gender, you can call male as 1 and call female as 2 underneath. So maybe that is what this guy is doing. Okay, and you can see we don't have missing value. And here is the head. So this is the duplication row. This is duplication row because we have just one duplication, for the data. And before we even start, I want to ask somebody to give us a code, to remove the duplication, because we have seen that we have duplication, and the first thing to do for the duplication is to actually remove it. Okay, so who can give me the code to remove duplication? The file path quoted doesn't exist is the error message I got, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Do you want to write it clearly? What are you doing before you got this error? So somebody should give me a code to remove this duplicated row. Anybody? 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 Somebody should give me the code to remove duplicate rows. Data evangelist, what are you talking about? Dot read. Okay, Temitope. Yeah, thank you so much, Temitope. You are doing well. All right. So I want to copy your code and then we get it. Thank you, Temitope. Anytime you see me, I owe you a code, a code of Motina. Okay, a Motina that is chill. One bottle of Motina. All right. So this is how we're going to remove the duplicate. We actually did this one. We did this ago. Okay. Okay. Yes, corrected. Okay. Abdullah, thank you. Olapejo, thank you. Yeah, drop underscore duplicate. So thank you very much. So now, if I do this one here, you can see it has removed duplicate for me, but I need to actually replace in the data by saying in place is equal to true. Okay, in place is equal to true. Then now you can see that I have removed my duplicate here. Okay, so let me comment it that you know uh, let me just put it on the comments here instead of using markdown. Remove duplicate rows. Okay, so that is one of the things that the what do you call it, that Panda profiling will help you to do. From there, as a rugged data analyst or data scientist or data engineer, once you have, for example, now if they say that you have malaria, the first thing to do is to pray to God and go and take a paracetamol or take any drug or go to the clinic to prescribe drug for you. You can see. So now, because they told you you have malaria, you know what to do. If they say, what else again? If I confirm that you are hungry, the first thing to do is to go and eat. So exactly, because we have seen the problem in our data, so we are happy that we have the problem is in the data and we know what to do. Okay, just like the Bible said that come to me, all that are labor and of heavy laden, and I will give you what? Rest. If you know that you have a burden or whatever, the first thing to do is not to cry. The first thing to do is to come to Jesus Christ. Just like Bible said, come to me, all that are labor and of heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So now we have done we have diagnosed our data, okay, and now we know what to do. So I'm so happy that somebody gave us the code, and I can see many people repeating the same code. Thank you very much. Um, Eruke Okwa, this your code will throw an error. Oh, sorry, it will not throw an error. Thank you. You got it. You got it. All right. So now let's continue with Seaborn. So remember, I said that Matplotlib was actually built for built. There is no way we use Seaborn without using any function in Matplotlib. It's not possible. Now, before I continue, let me remind you how we import our packages. Here I said import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. So whenever I am calling plt, uh, you should know that it is from matplotlib. And whenever I am calling SNS, remember that I am calling cborn. Okay. So now I have created some scripts that will help us to visualize our data line by line, line by line. Okay. So before we continue, we have several things that is built on with. We have the following as the built-in themes. What is a theme? Uh, Let me show you something. Let me show you something in R programming. Then you understand what the theme is and how it looks like. Remember, I said that um, Seaborn they actually copy ggplot2. So look at what I'm doing. Don't worry, don't ask me any code. I just want to explain the theme for you. Mm. So that when you see it, you know that that is the theme. Okay, so here I want to use iris data, iris. Okay, I want to use iris data. Then I want to use ggplot2 function. Don't worry, oh, just look at what I'm doing. I just want to explain the theme for you so that you can select separate petal length, and the same thing we'll be doing in Seaborn. So we'll be seeing I am calling for my x-axis, I am calling for my y-axis, and how I am calling for my data. Okay, here I want to pick a particular variable. Okay, and immediately I run this guy. So let's say I want to plot a scatter diagram. So in this case, I will say jump point. I just want to prove a particular point. Then you understand what I'm doing now when I get to Seaborn. If I run this guy, look at my plot. You see that my plot, you can see the theme here. This one is using a default theme. So immediately I now put a particular theme there. Say plus theme BW, for example. See the way it plotted it. Okay, if I remove this guy and I put this guy here, okay, minimal, see the way it comes. Can you see? So that is theme, and the same way is what we'll be doing now in Seaborn. So we have dark grid, we have white grid, we have dark, we have white, and we have text. Okay. So by default, Seaborn uses the dark grid style. Okay. So what I want to do is that for all my plots, I want to use white grid. So there I am setting it by default here by using SNS dot set style. So I just pick this guy, white grid. Can somebody tell me why I pick white grid? I don't know. I just picked it. If you like, you can change it to another option that we have here. Okay. So now we can use those charts. So I'm not going to repeat what I have here. What I will only us plot our data, and the syntax that we are going to be using to plot those charts. Number one, look at it. I said SNS, excuse me. Okay, SNS red plot. So whenever you are calling a Seaborn function, okay, just like I have done in my R programming, look at it here. In fact, I can remove this guy and I can say, yeah, say data, okay, is equal to iris. So if I remove this, and this is exactly what we have in C, but you can see here I call my X, this is my X axis, this is my Y axis, and the data I'm using is this guy, iris. So the same way is the total bill, and you must quote it. You can see you must quote it either in a single quote or a double quote. But I prefer double quote, so just put it in double quotes. Okay, I like double quote a lot because when I move into Excel, right, and you are trying to quote a particular string, some people will be having error because they are used to single quotes, and in Excel it supports only double quote. So I don't want to have any problem whatsoever. That is why in my brain I always use double quote. So immediately I plot this guy. All right, you can see when I plot it, so it is what is the problem? Uh, okay, all right. Let me say okay, plot. Is it show the plot? Show. Uh, I'm coming. Aha. Plot dot show. Plot dot show. Okay. Plot is not defined. Okay. Sorry. Plt dot show. Uh, what is the problem here? All right. Let me go back to. Why is it not working? Oh, okay. What is happening to my? User warning. Configure Canva is not and that cannot be shown. Why is it not showing? Okay. Um. Okay. Coming please. Okay, let me try to restore to where I was. Okay. Why is it not showing? Okay. Let me try this one again. This one is not showing. Could there be any problem on the version of the Seaborn? I'm coming please. I'm coming. Okay. Um. So I'm coming. I'm going to explain what happened, and then let's see how it goes. Uh, okay. All right. So who cares to know what happened that was not showing? It's not the kind of plot, it's working now. So if you care to know what happens, say yes on the chat. Then I will tell you what happens. Okay, if I can say 5 years. All right. So remember I told you we are now in the era of a very advanced knowledge that you don't need to start crying or start calling anybody to help you. So I'm going to show you what I did, and then you can also copy me. So I just went to ChatGPT straight. Okay. Of course, this code has worked before, but I don't know why it is not working again, because it's been a long time I've opened this script. Okay, look at my prompt. Can you see? Why is my plot not showing on VS Code Jupyter Notebook? I just put everything there, and he said that there are a few common reasons why Seaborn plot doesn't show up on VS Code Jupyter Lab notebooks, especially when using SNS replot. You can see it is not my code, but now is the problem of Jupyter Lab notebook. Sorry, is the problem of VS Code. Okay, is the problem of VS Code. So now this is what they always do. They always put this line, they call it inline plotting. So they always put it anytime you are using Seaborn or Matplotlib. So this guy must always be when you are importing your module. And that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. You can see just one line of code actually saved me from any error. So now you can see I just put the thing where I was doing this guy where I was importing my modules, and immediately everything starts working. Can you see now? So we thank God for giving us LLM. We thank God for giving us ChatGPT and others. Okay, you can see now that we've been able to plot a scatter diagram. And the function that we use is what we call rel plot. Rel plot. Rel plot. Okay. Now, since we have plotted this chart. Okay. So now, before we can continue with this chart, we need to actually label it clearly, so that the team, the total bill, and the title here could show up. And this is where we now be using the matplotlib function, such as you remember here the X label. So that is for the X axis. Then we want to change the X axis to the plt.y label. Then we want to change the Y axis to, and the title, if possible, you use title here. But for me, I don't always like to use title because I will actually save my figures. So why am I now putting plot there? Whereby in my report I'll be saying figure one, colon. What I'm saying is this. Let me show you something. Do I have I don't know if I have any report I can show you. Don't know if I have any reports. But most of my work are proprietary, so it not be good that the government or whoever I'm working with is seeing everything when you are watching it. Okay, so don't worry. So for me, but I don't like putting figure title here, because I will actually copy this plot into my report. I'll actually plot into my report. So there I can start titling my figure like that. But if you like, you can put your own title here. So now to do that, okay, you will just color PLT X label, and you put the label there. That is the title you want to change your X axis to. The same thing for Y axis, and the same thing for the title. So if I run it now, you will see that I have all of this. And anybody seeing this plot will see that this guy is total bill for the male, and this is the tips given in Kenya shilling, and the figure is tips, versus total bill. That is, I'm plotting tips against the total bill, and that is all about this. Any question from here? Any question? Somebody is asking me, where do I work? Where do I work? I work in several places. I work in different projects. So what will be my interpretation of the plot? Okay, if you look at the plot here, right, you see that this guy, look at it now, it's like there's a positive correlation between tips given in Kenya shilling and total bill. Okay, for example, now if you buy, let's say you buy 4,000 mil, for example, because you are doing a party and you bought 4,000 mil, the higher your bill, the higher the tips you will give to those attendants. You know, just like favor, for example, anytime you go for a party or you go to, maybe you stay in the hotel, all those people that always the cleaner, the receptionist, all of them, it's good to give them money to show the love of God to them by giving them money. So the higher you pay for your meal, the higher you pay for the tips. The tips are not, it's not a bribe. You just appreciate them. Okay. So and people like to collect money than collect a hug. Okay. So that is it. So that's just the interpretation. Is that clear? Who asked for it? Omotoyi, is that okay? Now, if you want to look for the correlation, okay, so let's calculate the correlation. Okay, let's calculate the correlation. So you can see the correlation here now, right? The correlation here. So let's just type correlation. Let's calculate the correlation. So this one, remember the data is tips, right? Tips data, okay. So to get the correlation of total bill and tips given, okay. So we can use who can tell me? Let's use dot log, okay. Dot log to select the data we want to use. In this case, we want to use tips, right? We want to use tips. Want to use want to use okay yes, this one, and then we use tips here. Exactly. Total bill. You can see my copilot is doing very good for me. Okay. So now you can see the correlation is 0.214. So what I did was that I selected the total bill and tip. I believe everybody by now, you know what this one means by the dot log, right? And then I just call on the dot core, the correlation on the data. Okay. And that gives us this, right? So you can see that there is of course, the correlation is not that strong. That is why you see the correlation, cluster around a particular point here. Okay, but there's a correlation, and the correlation is 0.214. So now you can say that there is a positive linear correlation between the total bill and the tips given in Kenya shilling. All right. How do you present in percentage? If I want to present this in percentage, no, you cannot present correlation in percentage. You don't confuse your tutor. So what do you mean by present in percentage? Is this a scatter plot? Yes, a scatter plot. Is that not what I showed you before, Anthony? Okay, any question again? Right? So that is all about that for the scatter plot. So to create a scatter plot, you will use the rel plot for scatter plot. And what you should master is the parameter we are using. Okay, the x-axis you call it, the y-axis, and the data that you want to use. So that is what will get it done for you. You can see that data visualization is actually very simple with Seaborn, with Seaborn. When you look at the way we have been doing our work, you will notice that anytime I create a plot, right, a particular character is always following them. I don't know why. Can you see? Cborn dot axis grid features grid at this nonsense number. Can you see? The same thing also happens here. You can see the number text 05. So to remove all these text, right, what you always do is that at the end of your code, you will put semicolon in it. Can you see? Correlation is statistical report, Are you asking a question or you are commenting? Yetunde Akinmoju, Akinmoju. Are you writing? Are you asking a question or you are commenting? So to remove those unnecessary characters, you just put a semicolon there, and that will get rid of those characters. You can see now I have my character here. All right. So sometimes you want to plot a scatter plot with a regression line on it. So in that case, the function you will use in Seaborn is lmplot. But before I continue with lmplot, I would like you to take a 5 minute break. Okay, so you can take a 5 minute break. When the correlation is one, it means what, sir? The correlation that is one here it means perfect correlation. Okay, and you will always see perfect correlation when you are correlating the same variable, against each other. You can see here total b and total b is the same theta, is the same variable. That is why the correlation will be one. The same thing for tip. Okay, so but I've never seen a correlation becoming one in my life. I've never seen. It may be near perfect correlation when you have 0.98. For example, um what is it, for example? Uh which one can we say? Okay, let me use this one for example. It may not be correct, but let me start that example and you can see that it is meaningful. Okay. When you are truly a child of God, right, your character will be wonderful. Is that true? The correlation is one, is positive, is perfect correlation. When you are a true child of God, your character, your behavior, your everything will be wonderful. Okay, that is why the Bible said that a good tree will never bear a bad fruit. You can see that is a perfect correlation. A good tree must bear a good fruit. The relationship in that is perfectly correlated. Any question? Please, we are on break now. So in our break time, if you are staying with somebody, go and tell them Jesus loves them. Okay, if you are with your wife and you are in another room, go and tell them you love them. Okay. If you want to stand up, stand up. If you are alone, tell yourself that it is well with me in Jesus' name. So I'm telling myself here right now, it is well with me in Jesus' name. Okay. So we come back after 5 minutes. So I'm going to put a, a clock here now that will guide us in our break time. So we are taking a break for 5 minutes. Okay. Our break is 5 minutes. Okay. So let me call it a break time. All right. So the break time starts now. Damilola is saying, can I be A mentor? Can I be a mentor? Uh, can I be a mentor? Hey, if I be your mentor, you run away. Oh. In 2021, I have a mentorship session or class. Out of 50 people, only five remain to today. So my mentorship is always hard. Mm. How can we join your mentorship class? For now, I'm not. I'm very busy now. I'm sorry. It's, the mentorship always takes time because I like to be faithful with what I'm doing. It takes time. I did that mentorship for 1 year, and most of those people are now in US, in Canada, in where again? In UK. What's the name? Sir? Uh, let me see their name. Sir. Uh, I have Henry who is in his PhD in the US. I have Esther who is working in the UK. And many of them like that. Tosin is working in the bank. And many more like that. Okay, please we have 1 minute more to end our rest. Mm. All right, time over for our break. So let's continue. Are you ready? All right. Let's continue, please. So before our break, we have seen how you have seen how to create a scatter plot. So who can tell me the function to plot a scatter plot? Anybody? Function to create a scatter plot. What's that function? Please, anybody to give me function to create a scatter plot. All right, thank you very much. SMS dot replot. You can see, so it's very easy. And those people that are chatting, yeah, I've been seeing you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. When you, if you come first in your project, I will not be surprised. Ebenezer, I can cite you. Juicy, Favor, John, Ade, Joke, Blessed, by Joy did not get it, and by me, Favor, I style. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, please, let's continue, please. So here we'll be looking at LM plot. So the LM plot is used to plot a scatter diagram and then to draw a regression line on it. Okay, regression line on it. You can see now. Here is it. So this guy will help you draw this line. This line is called regression line. And you can do that by using LM plot. So it's actually the same like that of the red plot. So you can see they have the same parameters in their function. So once you know one function, to use another function will be very, very simple. Okay, you can see now you can see the line. You can see the line. Very simple. Okay. So then we also have what is called confidence interval. Okay, the confidence interval is what the guy is showing the shadow here, saying that the line, the point will be, between this interval. So if you want to up the interval, you just say Ci is equal to none, and that will remove the confidence interval, and you only have the line, and that is all about the rel plot. Okay. Another one I would like us to look into now is peer plot. Peer plot. What is a peer plot? First of all, let's see it. Okay, let's see it. So the peer plot is trying to plot a variable against one another. Okay, against one another. For example, look at this one. This is total bill. So if you look at the x-axis here, we have total bill here for the first what do they call this one? They call it I'm coming facet grid. They call this place facet. This is the grid. Can you see? In this grid, right, you can see total bill on total bill. When it is total bill on total bill, you can see because that is histogram, that is a continuous data. That is why it shows you a histogram. Okay. When it is two different variables, look at it. Total bill and tip, it shows you a scatter diagram. When it's another variable that is continuous, you can see this one, total bill and the size. Of course, the size here is discrete, it's not continuous. That is why you have this kind of plot, because you can see that the size is just discrete. That is why you have this. Okay, the same thing happens to other plots here. You can see here, when it is size on size, it gives you a bar chart. You can see here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 6. You can see. So that is a bar chart. So that is what SM plot is all about. Then another one is joint plot. So this joint plot looks like a scatter diagram. Okay, it's a scatter diagram, but also gives you the distribution of each variable. Now you can see the joint plot here. You can see it gives you a scatter diagram. Now gives you the distribution of each variable. For example, here is total bill. It gives you the histogram of total bill, and here is the tip. It gives you the histogram of the tip, and that is all about the joint plot. Pair plot is used to plot different variables against each other. Yes, Olapeju pairs, you are correct. All right. Another one is the histogram. Of course, you know what histogram is. That is SNS dot hist plot, and this gives you the histogram. Okay. Then we have what is called density function. So here we plot density function on it. You can see that is why we use this argument called KDE. Okay, we use this argument called KDE, and it's a bool. That is why we throw it by default it is false. Okay, but you can actually activate it by saying KDE is true, and this now gives you the density function, density curve on the histogram. Now the next thing is the box plot. Okay, remember that the box plot, helps you to be able to identify whether you have outlier in your data or not. And what are the outliers? Outliers are the extreme value in your data. The extreme value could be something below other values or something above other values. You can see here we have extreme values. So you can see we have seen people, okay, spending, far above usual. For example, you can see about 6,000, 5,000, 4,000, and all of that. So that is that. Okay. And what you can actually do now, let's do this thing. Let's call describe on the total bill. In that case, we can say total, you can say tips data, okay, and then we can call out the total bid on it, say dot total bid. I believe you know this one already, right? And we can call describe on it. So this one will help us to see the 5 number summary. Now this guy here is called the minimum, so that is 44.6. You can see because it's hard for us to locate this guy or to locate it on the y-axis. So for me, I can say it is 0 point something, but instead the right value is 44.69. Okay, and this guy is the first quartile, right? And the first quartile is the 25 percentile, which is 1505.2. You can see this is what we have here, and this guy here is the median, and the median here is what is 50 percentile. That is 2,106. Okay, this one here is the third quartile. That is 75 percentile, and that is 2745.16. Okay, and here is the maximum. The maximum here is 5,538.29. You can see. All right, and any other value above the maximum or below the minimum is outlier. Okay, and we can get the outlier, you can say that is 1.5 times interquartile range. Okay, any value above that or below that is your outlier. And in statistics, okay, the interquartile range IQR is Q3 minus Q1. And remember, the Q3 is 75 percentile. This guy, okay, this guy minus the first quartile, which is this guy. So when you calculate it, okay, you get your IQR. So this is the IQR. IQR. Okay, you can actually get directly from the data by using what I just did here. Okay, so this is the IQR. Okay, okay, so that is the IQR. So we use the IQR to get the how will I call it? To get uh the outlier. Okay. Oh yes, Temitope is saying that KDE means kernel density estimation. Yes, you are correct. So that is what helps us to get this density curve. Okay, so this guy is called density curve in statistics. Okay, now the next thing that we need to do now, apart from having a vertical box plot, we can actually have an horizontal box plot. Though I don't like this horizontal box plot because in my brain it is hard to interpret because my brain is always vertical, it's not turning itself. Okay, but if you want to turn it, what we do is just to change the y to x. Remember here we are having a single variable and we are drawing a box plot here. You can see that what we need is just the total bill and the total bill we are saying y. That is why it is plotted here, and that gives us a vertical box plot. So if you want to plot horizontal box plot, what we do is to just make this your y to be your x-axis, and therefore this guy will be in the x-axis, and then we now have what is called horizontal box plot. Abigail is saying that LQR to get the applier. It's not, I didn't say applier, or I say applier, applier. So that is that. Any question for me? Any question? Olakoju is saying, what is the difference between red plot and M plot? I've said this one before now. Olakoju, I said that red plot is used to plot a scatter diagram. Okay, that is scatter plot. LM plot is used to it combines the scatter plot and also draw a regression line on it. That's just the difference between the two. Okay, any question? Sir, you said the apply is either to go or to nothing within the sir. Maybe I didn't see. Yes, sir. You said that apply is either to go or above the minimum, the maximum. The actual button within sir. Maybe I didn't see. Oh, let me go back to it. I know that one will confuse us. So the IQR here is the interquartile range, okay? So to be able to identify your outlier, so this is what we have from. So you now say, so we have what is called a lower band, okay? The lower band will be Q1, the first quartile, okay, minus this guy that you have done, okay? Q1 minus 1.5 times interquartile range. Okay. Then the upper band, the upper band, the upper is this one, Q3 plus 1.5 interquartile range. Now, so if you want to get the outlier that is below the minimum, so any number that is lower than this is your outlier, and that will be at around this place here. Now, any number above this one, above this number, remember already we have gotten the Q3. So Q3 is what? It's this guy, right? Q3 is this guy. Okay. So let us do it by ourselves. Let me create a code. So the lower is Q3 minus Q1. And we have Q3 already. We have Q1. Yes, exactly. Thank you. So this guy has helped me calculated it. So the interquartile that we have gotten is this guy. Okay. All right. So now if we do this one now and call the lower. So here, this is the lower point. Can you see? This is the lower point. Now the same thing, let's get the upper point, upper. So here, the upper is what we have here. Okay. And I like my co-pilot. He's doing a lot of work for me. I'm so happy. Thank God for those people, developers that gives us co-pilot and VS Code. You can see now. So if a number is above this guy, there is an outlier. Now let us look for it. So you can see that any point above this maximum, okay, so it is the outlier, okay. Of course, we are not using the maximum to judge the outlier. Rather, we are using this formula saying that once the number is above, look at the maximum. The maximum is what? 55, 38. And look at the upper. Um, the upper is 4604. Exactly. That was I said that we don't use the upper to judge the outlier. But any number above this guy will be an outlier. That is why we have this point as our outlier. Okay, we have this point as our outlier. Any question? It is, yeah, IQ. It is the yes, you are correct. Can one obtain regression function or equation with LM plus? I don't know. I don't know, but let me let me ask ChatGPT if we can do that. But for us in our programming, we have a function that will help us to do that. We have a function. For example, let me show you how you can do that in R. We are using what is called. Let me. I think I have done one before. We are using a library called library. We are using a library called GG start plot. Okay. So now I will now use GG start. I'll use GG start, GG scatter. Yeah, this guy will do it for us. And here I'll just say x is equal to. So let me use iris data set for example. Iris data, okay, and then I will call length. Let's say petal length, okay, and the y is separ width, okay, and my data is iris. Okay, data is equal to iris. So I can remove this guy here that I have here. So you will see it will show me all the statistics that you need for regression, including the t-test and the effect size. Okay, look at what happened now. Can you see the magic? Can you see the magic that this one give us? Can you see the magic? Anybody, are you happy with what you are seeing here? Can you see the magic? Can you see the magic? Here you can see, here is the regression, here is the line, and the regression, you can see the statistics, you can see the correlation, you can see the correlation range, you can see this one is showing us that the petal length is actually significant, in predicting separ width. Okay, so that is the beauty that we have. But do we have the model? It's not showing the model. It's not showing the model. It's not showing the model. But I believe there should be a way to show the model, but I don't want to start teaching you R programming so that some people will not be confused here. So let me look at the result of my. Okay. Uh, so the answer is no. I'm sorry. The answer is no. You can see. Let me show you what the ChatGPT is telling me. That the answer is no. Okay. You can see it only plots the regression line and the confidence interval, which is exactly what I described before. Can you see? But you can obtain the regression line using other tools. Then use LM plot for visualization. So you can see, you cannot do it. But here it just okay. You can actually do it by yourself, by putting all of this together with it. So you have to start using linear regression model from the start, linear SK model. Don't worry, when you get to know machine learning next week by the grace of God, you can find a way to use ChatGPT and then plot those lines on your charts. Okay. But in that book that I wrote, that I author, I try to visualize the the model and everything, including all this that I've seen here, and interpret everything. So that is just it. Okay. Somebody is saying that one need to know the statistics to engage data science. Yes, you cannot survive without you understanding statistics. So you need statistics to learn data science. I work in a financial industry and I want to change my career path to one like this one. What do you plan to lie to looking at? What do I need a certification? Please, where you are is currently good, is good. Okay. Financial institution is you don't change your career. What you need to do is to become a data person. Okay, and apply your data skill in your financial domain. So you don't need, you are so lucky because finance is actually one of the trending skills or trending space now across Nigeria and all over the world. So if you are studying finance, you have a good career. So don't change your career. What you need to know is to understand how to apply data into your finance. Okay. For me, I study statistics and I'm learning finance now. Okay. So imagine I'm learning what you have already. So that's just how life is. Okay. My wife says so. I don't know anything about that. Okay. Don't worry. This is not about further math. Don't worry about further math. I studied further math in school, but it doesn't. It's not. It just helps me to navigate my towards mathematics in the university. So you don't need further math in this matter. Okay. What you need is just your critical thinking and your determination. Okay, and your determination. So you don't need any further math to learn data science. You don't need mathematics. Once you know two plus two, one plus one, and you know Jesus is Lord, your problem is solved. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Okay, so let's continue, please. All right. I've talked about it. Now, remember, every chapter I've been looking at this morning is continuous, is using continuous data. So this time around, we'll be looking at categorical data. And let's see how to plot our categorical data. Okay, the first one we'll be using what is called count plot. And somebody actually said this, I think yesterday, saying count plot. And I told you, whenever you are talking, don't just talk in the way of Pythonista. Talk in the general term because we are saying count plot where our programmers are, they will not understand what you are saying. But when you say bar chart, everybody understands it. So it's a basic understanding. All right, you're not speaking French and you're not speaking Spanish. Okay, so the count plot helps us to visualize our categorical data, and it's very simple. In categorical data, what we need is just label or the category. So this time around, we are saying we are plotting the distribution of the days of the week, all right, in the data. You can see now, here we just say X is equal to day, and we call on our data, and we have this. But there's a problem here. You can see that this guy did not arrange it in the order of the day of the week. Instead, he just scattered them Thursday, Sunday, and did it anyhow. So there is a way to do it. So what we do is to use the order argument. Okay, is to use the order argument and put your order in a list. Here we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you continue with your argument. And I put all this one here. So when I run it now, you can see that the thing is now in good order. Can you see? Monday, Tuesday. Now you can see that on Saturday, people always go to the party and they do party, they party. Everybody enjoy themselves. Can you see? This is a good thing. It is not a problem to go for party. It's not a problem. But just that go to a party whereby your good character and your godliness will be maintained. Praise the Lord. All right. So you can see that a lot of visitors came to the restaurant on Saturday, where compared to other days of the week. So this one I was just trying to look at the what do you call it now? The frequency table. This is exactly what this guy has shown us. Okay. Remember we have a count plot. Also, we have a bar plot. So you can see that people, that's why they said that those patronistas, they don't know statistics. So here they are calling bar plot. And here you can see the way they are doing it. So you can see here is a bar plot, okay, which is very good. So here is that they are uh, they are trying to visualize the x-axis according to the y-axis so that the length can correspond to the frequency of the data. So here, but they call it bar plot. Okay. So in our R programming, yeah, here we call it bar plot. Okay. We call it GG jump. We call it jump bar. Okay. We call it jump bar. Okay. Call it jump bar. But the second part, we call it jump call. Jump call. So the jump call here is telling us that is it needs your y-axis, okay? Jump, that is for column, bar, okay? But this guy too, you can also, without using this one, there's a place you call here, say, start is equal to identity, and that gives you a bar plot. But don't worry, let's continue with this one. So here, when do we use this one? We use this one because look at the count plot. The count plot by itself automatically counts the day of the week. It counts it by itself, okay? Something like a frequency table, first of all, on its own, it did something like this underneath, and then now start visualizing this, visualizing, Saturday for the frequency, this guy for this guy for this. Because you don't need y-axis for this. That is why you only have x-axis. But when you have the regression plot, that is, sorry, when you have the bar plot, you must have a y-axis. In this case, it's taking the y-axis to be total bill, okay, and then colon the smoker. Somebody may ask me, but total bill here is continuous. So why is it able to get this? So underneath, it will use sum or it uses averages to get the total bill here on the y-axis. Okay. Okay, it could use maybe the sum. You can see here it's trying to do group by. Remember yesterday or 2 days ago we look at group by where we have total bill, for example, tips data. Remember we have tips data. Okay, I will say dot group by. Remember dot group by ahead. I'm happy. So this is what the guy has done. Can you see? So this is what this guy has done underneath. So it gives us all the statistics, and then it was now able to plot this guy by the you can see that the for people that are not smoking, you can see 2 1 2 1 1 2. Can you see? That's exactly what we have. So this guy is using average underneath, and for the y, you can see 2228.26. That's exactly what this one could be like. Okay, so that's exactly what this guy is doing. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And now we also have this one. This guy is called error bar. Okay, this so in social science, it is social sciences for people in people that always do experimental analysis, especially microbiology, plant biology, and all those people. They always use error bar. Okay, and to do this one automatically, it will give you error bar by itself. But if you don't want error bar, you can actually say confidence interval is equal to none, and this guy will now give you the bar chart as it is. Sir, the bars in my count plot and bar plot are showing same color blue. Showing, yes, my own too is showing this. So before it shows different color. Maybe they have changed the symbol. So now telling you to use an argument for it by yourself. So without reading the documentation, let me see whether this guy will work. Remember, we have several arguments. So yeah, let's see. Which one again? You see, color. Yeah, I think it's you. You. So you is aha. You is smoker. Smoker. You is smoker. Okay. So this is what we get it work. Can you see? Now this is saying CI parameter is use error bar exactly. You can see error bar. So they've changed the symbol now. So I can change this guy. So anytime you are doing plotting, maybe you copy a code from ChatGPT and this guy is showing you some warning, try to read this warning and try to correct it. So they no longer use error bar. Just like I cannot call Apostle Paul and call him Apostle Saul. Okay. So now you can see that it works now. So the parameter that will help you to do the work is called you or what do you call it. So this is the guy that will help you to get the color. Okay. So for the other ones too that we have done, so you can just apply that color there. Okay. For this one too, you can just say, okay, this guy is equal to the day. Okay. And then you run it, and now you have everything like this. Okay. All right. Any question for me? We're almost done. Okay, I think we have done this one. Now we have a pie chart. So pie chart is the same thing. So for pie chart, you cannot. This is where we are now using pandas, pandas plotting function. Okay, pandas plotting function. Okay, so what we do, because I think Seaborn has not incorporated. You see, to create a pie chart is very hard. Even in our program, it's very hard. You have to put a lot of codes together, okay, to create a pie chart. So maybe that is why the Seaborn developers, they've not been able to get the way to create a function to create a pie chart. So now here we'll be using the pandas function to do that. Remember here, all of these guys here are pandas. And I believe that you know what this guy is doing. So this guy is giving us the frequency table, okay, and under it we just say dot plot, okay, and say the kind that the kind of plot you want to plot is a pie chart. If I want to plot a bar chart, I'll just say let me remove everything here. I'll just call dot plot on it. That's the just the dot plot. You can see automatically it gives me a what? It gives me a what did I call it? A line chart, and that's not what I want. So then I have to say the kind. Okay. In this case, the kind is let's call it the kind is bar. Okay, the kind is bar. So if I say bar, okay, it now gives me it gives me in bar chart. Okay. So what I'm doing here is that I'm using a pandas plot, a pandas plotting function to do it. So pandas for pandas, you just use dot plot and then you then tweak this kind here. So that is how to plot in pandas. Okay. And you can continue by labeling it saying PLT X label is gender in capital letter, okay. PLT, the Y label, call it number of visitor, and they can see that everything works for me. All right. But this is not what I actually want. What I want is the pie chart. Okay, is the pie chart. And I'm happy with my co-pilot. It's also helping me to format the percentage so that I can have it coming here. So if I don't use this argument, okay, I will have something like this, which will not be beautiful. You can see it will come like this. There is no label there. All right. So I'm so happy with my co-pilot. So please go and activate your copilot to help you a lot. You can see, so I don't need to start using ChatGPT. Everything is alive here. Praise the Lord. All right. Now the box plot. So this is the last time we have a univariate box plot. So this time around we are having a box plot that involves a categorical variable and a continuous variable. You can see it here. So you just say sns.boxplot and you call the variables in it. And this gives us the plot. You can see they are the same. So I think you have to start using the argument EU here. Okay. And that will help us to get the color. You can see the outlier. Now, what is this one telling you here? So when you compare the smoker and non-smoker, right, the total bill for not for you can see that the total bill for not for smokers are higher than the total bill for non-smoker. So what is one telling us? Saying that smokers they spend a lot, which is true. Smokers spend a lot. You know when you smoke, I pray you not smoke. When they smoke, right, they will womanize, they will fornicate, they will commit adultery, and by that it will be bill. Bill in my power, bill will kill them. Okay, they will spend a lot on unnecessary things, going to different parties, clubbing, and many things like that. That is why you can see that this data looks like a real data, right? So that is it. Then we have a violin plot. So violin plot works like a box plot. So but they always use violin plot whenever you have a big data. Okay, whenever you have, because when you have a big data, box plot the way it can come, right, in fact it will look somehow. So that is why they introduce a violin plot. Okay, and the same thing, just say sns dot violin and then you plot. You can see now that uh you can see this is the minimum and the point here is the median. This guy is the first quartile, this is second quartile, this is the median, this is the third quartile, this is the uh, maximum. And you can see this one did not show any outlier. You can see, but violin does not show any outlier, but the box plot shows outlier. So that is that. Now, the joy of data visualization is the ability to save your file. Because you are working with me and I'm your manager, all right, you cannot be showing me the VS code. You cannot show me the VS code. You cannot show me, sorry, you cannot show me your VS code. So you need to export your file, your images, your chart. And how do we do it? So you are going to use what is called plt dot save figure. Okay, in that you will now put your file name. Okay, remember all these guys are helping us to plot our chart, and this guy will now save it into the directory so that when you run this guy like this, uh so let me just uh use this parameter and say size. Okay, I run it. You can see uh yeah, see, for this one I'm not using, let me, because this guy is taking that continuous, let me say color. I remember there was a time we have a color. Is it color? It's not color. Let's say something like this. uh uh let's see. Okay, let me use this guy. Okay, so this guy is giving us a legend, right? That this guy symbolizes one. Okay, but there's a way you can remove legend, but let's just think like now. Okay, and to save it, just press enter. And when you look at your workspace, you will notice that you save this guy as size. And now can you see this is the size? And when you open it, your system can help you open it. This guy is opening on the VS Code. But if I come to the file here, okay, if I come to the file here and I look at the the, the, the data, the workspace, and look at this guy, and you can see my size. This is the it has saved here, and this is the chart. Can you see? So this is the file. And now I can put this one in my PowerPoint and present it to my organ. Okay. So now I can just create a new slide. Okay. And then put it here. Okay. Start, resize it. Okay. Then I can create a text box here. I can create a text box around here to explain what the data, the interpretation is. So that's all. I think we are good for today. So this will be the end of our data analysis and visualization with Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. Any question? Moses Tosin, I just explained how to save it. Okay, so that is it. All right. So we are done for today. Any question? As always, may the Lord bless your knowledge and help you through and give you the grace to continue in Jesus' name. So our new facilitator, our facilitator to continue before Israel will continue with the machine learning and start rolling out projects for you to start executing. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me as a facilitator. Bye.